what's up? Forager's voice is very... Forager understands. Analytical.
Nightwing, get down!
I'm here at the recording studio where the remarkable voice talent of Young Justice Outsiders have united once again to breathe life into these beloved characters. It's an emotional return that no one saw coming, but everyone is thrilled about, and it's exciting to be a part of it. Not only is it like joining a family, they were generous enough to welcome this newbie voice actor with some helpful tips.
I will tell you everything.
Did you say training? As children, my sister, brother, and I would pretend to be Wonder Woman, Batman, and Superman in our playroom.
There's always great surprises coming from our voice actors. Once they are growing into a role, they really start to identify with those characters and start to come up with ideas that we wouldn't think of.
Our actors really fall in love with their characters.
Start to lower your voice.
Jamie Thomason takes over at that point and captains that ship.
Are you all right?
Fine. What happened?
Halo happened.
Tell me a little bit about working with Jamie and how your dynamic works in the booth.
That loser? Oh my gosh, Jamie Thomason? Please. So if you're riding a roller coaster, and this is a roller coaster, Jamie's sitting in a seat next to you, riding the roller coaster with you.
Do not fear, sister. I will heal you now.
Speaking of childhood dreams coming true, to work with him in a professional context is like,
Blah, my 12-year-old heart breaking apart with glee.
he's so good and so specific about what he wants. You do a take and then he layers it with all these other things that you didn't necessarily think of, and it becomes this rich, deep thing.
I'm not Gabrielle, I'm Violet. Besides, right now, I'm Halo. Halo.
It's been so great to learn from all these insanely professional voice actors. Do you have any hot tips for me as a green voice actor?
I say, yeah, from your lips to your larynx. This is it. To communicate everything, right? So I don't care that, that your beautiful eyes get all, dewy and misty as you say, what? Because if I don't hear it, it don't do me no good in this medium. In animation, particularly TV animation, creating a character, building a character, and very often right there on the spot. In the moment. Let's do this. Okay, tweak that. Can we do,
I always just try to come in with as open a heart as possible so that whatever happens, I can be there in the moment. To spark the imagination. The first time I came for an episode, everything was developed right there in that first session. With feedback from Jamie, they talk a little bit about her and what her arc is and the difference between the sweet, wonderful, lovely little woman and this other character that comes out.
These goofy glasses are just another way for kids to disengage from the world.
Gee, Gordon, I'm proud of our product.
In this particular world, they're really proponents of doing group records, having everyone be together. If you are speaking, I'm speaking to you. I'm not recording in a box by myself. When you answer someone's question and you don't know how they asked you, and then you put that together later, it doesn't flow the same as when you're having a real conversation.
AIM takes time to learn, and falling is part of the game.
When I'm with new people, I think it's really important to be with other actors just because I have to get to know who's in my head. So when I'm doing Artemis, and it's maybe a scene where I'm just with one other person, like Wally, I've done a billion scenes with Jason.
If it ain't broke.
So I can already hear
how... You did a billion scenes with
Oh, I saw those billion scenes. They were like my favorite thing in the whole world.
Yeah, I can hear him. It's not just because he's in my head, he's also in the room, apparently, all the time.
He's there.
That's excellent. Not so excellent.
Do you find that the physicality just sort of falls into place, or is that planned?
A lot of times I'll have to do like a physical trigger just to change me or put me in a place. If I'm working on a voice, away from the stage in my house and I'm thinking about how it would sound and do a little thing here or do a little thing there, all of that work that I do in order to do it on demand, when Jamie says, okay, go, it's time for line 186, let's do this. I will use a physical trigger sometimes to get me back to that place, just to remind my body, hey, you did all this work.
So it's like muscle memory.
Don't leave that work at home, yeah.
Maneuver 7, people, go!
Tell me about this fringe group that Nightwing is kind of leading along.
Superboy and Nightwing, they're grown up at this point, and we need the new generation of heroes to do good for the world. So he takes it upon himself to train this new group.
Gather up.
Oh, someone's come bearing gifts.
Super suits.
It is a motley group of wonderful, real characters trying to figure out their place in the world.
Tonight, you choose your nom de guerre.
Yeah, those are Dick's fancy words for code name.
And then they're thrown into situations of having to solve problems and save the world occasionally.
Okay, so tell me about some of the new characters we have this season and some of the new talent we have.
Troy Baker plays Brion Markov.
Tell me about what the process is like of inventing a new accent.
We take some aspects of some different Eastern European, a little bit of Slavic, a variety of things, and say, hey, it's an Eastern European amalgam that can't be very specifically anything because it ain't really a country. Some might hear the words he speaks and then say, it's either really bad Latvian Google Translate or flawless Markovian. That's what we're going with.
Well, thank you for the indulgence.
When we first started off, he was very much like this. I'm like, cool, you're 17, and you haven't been smoking all the cigarettes and drinking whiskey your entire life. So it had become a little younger. That was a difference from when you walk in and you got the gig to like, cool, let's kind of tear down a lot of stuff that you had prepared, and let's really start working what we need this character to be in the show.
From now on, call me Hot Lava.
Now, I want to know, you said that you have a girlfriend.
I do.
But in my new form-fitting supersuit, I bring the hotness, do I not?
Can you tell me who it is?
Well, I can. She's super cute and totally into me. I call her Violet. Most people know her as
Halo. It was the first name you gave me, and I like it. I'm Violet at home. I'm Halo during a mission. Halo.
Halo is a beautiful name and describes your powers well.
She goes through an evolution over the season from being very limited in her ability to communicate initially, gradually increasing that ability to communicate and feel and have human emotions.
S'mores? I love s'mores!
So it was definitely something that I relied heavily on Jamie Thomason, the voice director, to create and set a starting level for her so that I would have somewhere to go over the course of the show.
Geoforce, get down!
What's going on?
This human shell, Gabrielle, imbued with this mother box spirit, slowly in very tiny incremental nuances from episode to episode, is becoming more and more human.
You're pink!
Forager thinks Forager now understands what friends meant by not liking to be naked.
Oh, sorry, I can't. You're too Gucci.
All across the board, Forager is a favorite. I just have to pass that along to you because everybody loves Forager.
I was chatting with Brandon briefly about the character, and they said, we have this character named Forager. He's a bug from another planet. Would you be interested in doing something like that? And I'm thinking, yes. What can I do to make this unique? Well, bugs make bug sounds. So I worked on those bug noises.
Forager will try again.
They actually come from cicadas.
Oh, wow.
Okay, so I heard a special. They were analyzing the sound of cicadas. When you hear the cicadas, it's actually 3 different sounds together. One of them sounds like a and then another one is a like sound, and then another one is a wah. I was thinking, this is great. Forager would speak universal bug.
Forager does not speak human language. Oh. And Mother Box is not here to translate Forager's words.
So I'm thinking, okay, I have to incorporate that into the sounds that he would make.
No, not like that. Forager will demonstrate.
So I'm like, and I'm doing all that, and then I'm thinking, okay, he has to speak. He has to speak normal lines.
What is wrong with naked? Forager is naked now.
Where would those bug sounds come in? So Brandon and I had to talk about when he's trying to explain something, he doesn't quite have the words. He makes those noises as a bit of a stammer.
Now Forager is not naked.
With Beast Boy on Teen Titans Go, or even the original Titans, I put on a voice. In this one, they're like, no, we want just basically you. I was the first one to ever play Beast Boy. I brought Beast Boy to life, so it's a real honor to be able to play Garfield Logan now in this new show.
I would love to hear about how that change went about. Clearly, the voices changed a little bit.
It's different because I'm so used to talking like Beast Boy like this.
Hey, bro, where'd you go?
That it took me at least the first episode to kind of wrap my head around this new kind of energy that Beast Boy gets to encompass, which has been really fun.
Is there a different cadence that he uses?
Yeah, a little bit. Torque is different than Garfield Logan in real life. He's the captain of a spaceship. He holds himself differently, so it's definitely a different Garfield Logan as Torque.
Do you have any
any idea what you've done to me?
Look at that. Nailed it. We cast Zeno Robinson as Cyborg. When he was auditioning, we used fake names. So he didn't know what role he was auditioning until we told him, hey, guess what? You got it. You won. You were awesome. And here's the big secret. The character is actually Cyborg. And he was like, I knew it. I knew it. And he was jumping around. And that's when he told us, this is my favorite character. Kari Payton is my hero.
It's been nothing but just me fanboying over everything, the whole process. He's dealing with a lot. He's got this alien tech that he's dealing with that's really killing his dreams.
How do you impart that onto your voice?
It's all about imagination, so you got to think what's happening. And Jamie, the director, is always setting you up, telling you what's going on.
Let's do this.
This is my life you're ignoring.
Nice.
I'm about to do my first ever voice acting session, and I'm so excited. Let's go.
All right, cool. Let's keep that energy going through the end of 13 there, and one last time.
Brace for Lightspeed, people. I'm your very own Stargirl, Courtney Whitmore.
I like how cool that is. Just make sure they can hear you.
Brace for Lightspeed, people. I'm your very own Stargirl, Courtney Whitmore. And today, we're rocketing across the galaxy for another Good Life Media exclusive interview.
My friends call me Gar.
You've recently begun a campaign to unify the world in vigilance against a growing threat.
Cartoons are a trip, y'all. It's so interesting because you are creating half a character and the animators meet you with the other half. As the voice actor, you rarely get to see that animation. It's such an exercise in trust and collaboration that the two halves marry well.
Those characters mean a great deal to those actors, and we know because they tell us. They really care about what happens to them, and we know because we feel it when they perform them.
If you could go on an adventure with the people you love the most, that's what season 3 of Young Justice Outsiders is.
The humans here are all truly drones in Forager's hive.
The voice talent on Young Justice Outsiders truly know their characters inside and out. Their abilities to demonstrate emotion and action just through their voices is inspiring. Next, we're going to witness how all the visual elements are put together in post-production. We'll see how the editors, composers, and sound mixers use their skills and talents as the final steps on the road to the return of Young Justice.
As for this boondoggle of a youth center,